My value was not determined by other people's perceptions or my own doubts, but by the calling and the preparation God had placed on my life. Hey, friends. Welcome back to the Created for This podcast. I'm Julie Wagner, CEO of brandCREATED, a Seattle-based branding agency and executive leadership coach for women founders, entrepreneurs, and leaders. I specialize in effective communication and building strong foundational teams and killer company culture, all rooted in Jesus-centered principles. Whether you're just starting out or leading at a high level, friend, you belong here. This is your space for real talk, encouragement, and practical wisdom to help you grow with confidence and faith. And I have some exciting news. Next week, I'm opening up the waitlist for my brand new coaching experience. It's called the Legacy Leadership Intensive. It's a 12-week transformational program for faith-driven leaders and entrepreneurs. So if you're ready to step into your calling, grow your influence, and leave a kingdom legacy, you are going to want to get on this waitlist. The official launch comes in January of 2026, but that's just around the corner, and you can be first in line by joining the waitlist early. Today, we're diving into what's holding you back, especially when it comes to mindset, and how teaming up with Jesus can help us break through anything. So, grab your coffee, grab your journal or note-taking device, and let's dive in. So here's a little history about me. If you did not know this, I have spent over 20 years in the tech industry in leadership, first in sales and then moving into leadership. This is a space where women are still a pretty small minority. Less than 10% of the industry as a whole is made up of women. So I cannot even count the number of meetings that I've attended to where I was the only woman sitting at the table. Did it bother me? No. Sometimes I was the youngest, fresh out of grad school with my MBA. I was sitting in boardrooms and high-level strategy sessions, kind of sitting there with a doe in the headlights look. It was crazy. So I'll be honest, in those early years, my mindset was a real struggle. I would wonder, why am I even here? Am I just a DEI hire? Am I only at this table because someone needed to check a box? The imposter syndrome was sitting on my shoulders so heavy. I constantly questioned whether I truly belonged or if I was just there to fill a quota. But you know what? Over time, God showed me something deeper. I was not just sitting at those tables by accident or just to fill a statistic. I was there because I'd been elevated to those positions for a purpose, because God went ahead of me and He made a way. My value was not determined by other people's perceptions or my own doubts, but by the calling and the preparation God had placed on my life. And look, I know that I am not alone in these feelings. So many of us, especially as women in leadership, face similar mindset barriers. It doesn't matter how experienced or educated or accomplished we are. Let's talk about some of the most common mindset blocks that can trip us up as women entrepreneurs and leaders. Are you ready for it? Perfectionism, fear of failure or rejection, comparison, imposter syndrome, money blocks, anxiety. If any of these sound familiar, know this: you are not alone. Even after decades of experience in leadership, I still have to recognize and overcome these sneaky thoughts. The key is to see them for what they are: mindset barriers, not the truth about your worth or your calling. So, like I said before, after years of navigating boardrooms where I was the only woman, here's something I realized. I realized that these mindset barriers don't just show up for us once, they're recurring visitors. Even with my experience, my degrees, titles, whatever, my success, I still had seasons. Let me rephrase that. I still have seasons where I've questioned my worth, questioned my voice, and questioned my place at the table. And if I'm being honest with you, which of course I am, these doubts didn't just vanish as I advanced in my career. They're have been some moments, even recently, right before I have a hard talk with one of my employees or a big presentation, I hear that old voice whispering in the back of my head. Are you really qualified? Do you really belong here, Jules? Maybe you're just lucky. Maybe you're really just a DEI hire. But here's what I've learned. We have to name these thoughts if we want to change them. So I invite you to do something brave with me right now. Take a moment and ask yourself, what thoughts or beliefs have been holding me back lately? Is it perfectionism, wanting everything to be just right before you step out? Is it the fear of failing or the fear of being rejected? Maybe it's comparison. Maybe it's imposter syndrome. Or maybe it's the old money story that you're not worth investing in. Whatever it is, I encourage you to do this. I want you to pause, breathe, and then I want you to write it down. Get it out of your head and get it onto paper. When we name our barriers, we take away some of their power. And when we bring them to the light, we invite God to speak truth over them. You are not alone in this, my friend. I have been there. I've done that. I got the t-shirt. So have countless other women who look like they have it all together. The difference isn't that we never struggle, it's that we choose to face those struggles with honesty, faith, and willingness to grow. As you sit with those thoughts and barriers you've named now, I want to remind you of something deeply true. You were never meant to carry these burdens alone. Jesus is right there with you in your boardroom, at your desk, in the quiet moments where your doubts get loud and deafening. One of my favorite promises is in Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I don't think it's just a verse for the good days or the big victories. It's really a lifeline for the moments where we feel least qualified, most overwhelmed, and tempted to shrink back. So let's talk about how you can team up with Jesus in these mindset battles. I think this is something that will equip you for today, tomorrow, and the future. So, first, you're going to start with honesty. Talk to him about your struggles. He already knows every fear, every doubt, every place that you feel less than. But it's so important to speak to him about it, to talk to him about it. If anything, it's therapeutic. Next is going to be replace the lies with truth. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm not worthy, I want you to pause and ask, what does God say about me? His answer is always rooted in love, purpose, and possibility. Next is surrender the outcome. Sometimes we grip so tightly to our plans and our performance, but what if you could just trust his timing? Even when it's different than yours. And this is a shout out to all of my control freak girlies because I 100% resonate with you on that. It is hard to trust God's timing. Sometimes, always, just depends on where you are in your walk. But I got to tell you, it's so worth it when you just release the death grip, the white knuckling of the outcome, and you give it to God. It's amazing the peace that washes over you and then the success that follows. It's seriously amazing. And then last, listen for his gentle nudges. Maybe it's the sense of peace that washes over you, a word of encouragement from someone, or the courage to take just one small step forward today. I encourage you to take a quiet moment this week, maybe with a journal, maybe on a walk. Go grab your coffee and go walk your dog if it's not raining like it is up here in the Pacific Northwest. But invite Jesus into the places where your mindset feels stuck. Ask him to show you what's true, to speak life over your calling, and to remind you that you are not walking this path alone. You are equipped, you are called, and you are never, ever alone. Now that you've named your mindset barriers and invited Jesus into those spaces, let's talk about what it's going to look like to move forward one step at a time with grace and faith. Maybe freedom for you starts with stepping back from something that's draining you. Maybe it's saying no to the pressure to be everywhere online. If you need to take a step away from social media, do it. Or maybe it's yes to a new way of connecting that feels more aligned with who God made you to be. Okay, here are some ways to start breaking through these blocks. Take a step back from social media. If you're scrolling and you're feeling less than, it is okay to take a break. If your stress is so high because you're worried about the content that you're going to make, it's okay to step away. Your value isn't measured in likes or followers, and your business is not going to crumble if you take a step away to protect your peace. Try a new approach. If the usual marketing or network strategies feel overwhelming, try something new. There are so many different areas that you can research. YouTube is free. There are local groups you can join. There's just so many different ways that you can mix it up a little bit. And it's going to be uncomfortable, yes. And that's okay because we don't grow when we're comfortable. Just saying. Focus on service. Shift your mindset from how can I sell to how can I help. When you lead with service, I'm telling you, you create this most beautiful impact that lasts far beyond a transaction. Set boundaries. It is not selfish to protect your energy and time, my friend. Boundaries are a gift to you, your family, and those you are called to serve. Ask for help. You are not meant to do this alone. Reach out to mentors, friends, pastors, people in this community for support and encouragement. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. And then the last one, and this is going to be a hard one if you are on the go, go, go like I am, embrace rest. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to pause and just allow God to refresh your spirit. Rest is holy, and it's part of the rhythm of sustainable leadership. If you have ever read anything by Steve Jobs, or you've seen any interviews with like Jeff Bezos or any of these big executives, you'll see that they sleep. They have very regular schedules. That is something that we as women tend to forget to do because we've got families, we've got work life, we've got our businesses that we're building, we have our other obligations. You know, if you're serving in your church, if you're doing all of these things, taking your kids to soccer, all of that, we tend to put rest on the back burner. And I want to encourage you guys today, just embrace the rest. Go to bed like an hour early. Take a day off. Just relax. Embrace it. Refresh your spirit, my friends. Refresh it. I want you to remember there's no single right way to move forward. God's path for you is going to look completely different from someone else's, from what you see online, even from what others expect. That's not only okay, it's beautiful. And I want you to embrace it. So as you reflect today, I want you to ask Jesus, what's the next right step for me? Just trust that he'll guide you. Listen to what he has to say. As you go through your week this week, I want you to hold on to this truth. With Jesus, you are worthy and equipped for every good thing. Even when the doubts creep in, even when the path forward feels uncertain, just remember that you're not navigating this alone. Maybe the most courageous thing you could do this week is to simply pause, breathe, and remember who you are and whose you are. Let grace meet you right where you're at, my friend. Allow God's voice to be louder than the noise of comparison, anxiety, or fear. If you feel led, I want you to whisper this affirmation over yourself. With Jesus, I am worthy and equipped for every good thing. You can repeat that as many times as you need to, my friend. Let those words settle in on your heart. Let them shape how you show up in your business, your leadership, and your life. And please remember, you're not alone in this journey. If you have a breakthrough, a struggle, or just maybe need someone to pray over you, reach out to someone. My DMs are always open on Instagram, and I would love to lift you up in prayer. We are truly stronger together. Every time you share your journey, you ask for help, you offer encouragement to another woman, you're building a legacy of faith and leadership that ripples far beyond what you can see. As you step into this week, I pray that you feel the gentle presence of Jesus guiding your every step. I pray that He quiets the voices of doubt and comparison and fills you with the courage to lead boldly, to love deeply, and walk confidently in your calling. I pray that you know deep in your soul that you are chosen, you are equipped, and my friend, you are so dearly loved. May God bless all the work in your hands, renew your mind with His truth, and surround you with a community that's going to lift you higher. And I hope you always remember you are never alone in this journey. If this episode encouraged you, would you take a moment to leave a review on Spotify or Apple Music? Your feedback helps more women find our community and start their week inspired. All the links you need, including the details for the Legacy Leadership Intensive, are in the show notes. And look, if you're ready to start leading boldly, influencing deeply, and multiplying your impact, I'd love to invite you to join the waitlist for the Legacy Leadership Intensive. This is my proprietary 12-week transformational coaching program that is designed specifically for faith-driven women who are founders, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Together, we're going to deep dive into biblical truth and modern leadership science, work through weekly teachings and practical challenges, and connect through group discussions and faith activations. You'll strengthen your mindset, clarify your calling, and develop the skills to lead with greater authenticity, resilience, and purpose, so you can leave a kingdom legacy that lasts. And don't forget, new episodes drop every Monday, so let's keep starting our week together, encouraged, equipped, and ready to step into all that God has for us. Remember, you were created for this. We'll see you next week.